Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. So yesterday we began, right? So let's go ahead and talk about nominal sentences. We initially said that nominal sentences, what is a nominal sentence? A nominal sentence is a sentence that begins with an ism, and that was pretty straightforward. And we also mentioned that there are three parts to a nominal sentence. The first part is called the subject, i.e. the mubtada. Now before we begin to define what the mubtada is, I said that we need to know what type of isms are the subject in a nominal sentence. Number one is the proper ism. Okay? The proper ism. And the proper ism is anything which is proper. We had our exam today. Okay? Proper ism. Allahu al-kitabu alladhi makkatu. Number two is pronoun. Pronoun. And pronoun refers to anything huwa, huma, hum, ana, nahnu, any of those pronouns. And number three are pointing words, which we haven't gone over. We'll go over today. Now, what is the subject? Well, the subject is the main focus of the sentence. And we did all these examples. Can there be more than one subject in a sentence in Arabic? Not exactly, unless it's what? A mawsuf sifa or a possessive compound, wherein you have two words that go together and it's considered one subject. And we also went over the status, number, gender, and type of the subject. The status of the subject is always going to be rafa. If it is not rafa, then it is not the subject. It cannot be the subject. The number, it depends on the ism. Depends on the ism. The gender also depends on the ism. And the type is proper. The type is proper. If it is not proper, then it cannot be the subject. Again, if it's not proper, it can't be the subject. Now we started speaking about the predicate, the second part of a jumla ismiya, of a nominal sentence. What type of isms are the predicate in a nominal sentence? Anything that is not a proper ism, a pronoun, or a pointing word, as well as anything that is not the AP. Okay? What is the predicate exactly? It's information about the subject. Information about the subject. We also mentioned there can be more than one predicate in a nominal sentence. There can be more than one predicate in a nominal sentence. The status, number, gender, and type. The status is rafa. It's rafa. The number and the gender must be the same as the subject, and the type must be common. The type must be common. And the third property we went over is the addition to the predicate. The addition to the predicate. And that is words. There are two types of words which are considered addition to the predicate, the AP. Number one are harf jar constructions. And number two are adverbs of time and place. Now, what is the addition to the predicate exactly? We mentioned that it is secondary information about the subject. And we also mentioned that there can be more than one AP in a nominal sentence. You don't always need both the predicate and AP when there is a subject. Just one is fine to be in a nominal sentence. Now, what are general ways of identifying a nominal sentence? The first thing I said to do was what? Find the subject and the predicate. Find them. How do you find them? You need to know how to identify each, right? Number two, make sure the subject is proper. Make sure the subject is proper. Number three, make sure the predicate is common. Okay. Number four, make sure the gender and number of the subject and predicate are the same. The number and gender of what? The subject and predicate are the same. And number five, the word is comes to life when you have successfully identified the subject and the predicate. Moving down. And then we started speaking about shortcuts to a nominal sentence. That was in the book, I believe. Pull it up. And that was in the book, right? If I'm correct. Class boards. I'm sorry?
I don't see anything called shortcuts.
What page are you looking at?
82.
82, 81.
Did I go over this yesterday?
Yes, you did. But it's not in the book.
Shortcuts?
It's not in the. Oh, you know where I pulled it up from? I pulled it up from an old set of notes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I did. Blah. Was this it? Yep, it was this one. 24. Okay. Going back here. Class boards. Shortcuts to nominal sentence. That's what it knows. Traditional. Here we go. Number one, shortcut to a nominal sentence is that if a common ism comes after a proper ism. If a common ism comes after a proper ism. Number two, it's any common ism after an independent pronoun. Any common ism after an independent pronoun. Three, pointing word followed by a common ism. We haven't gone over pointing word, don't worry about it. Any ism after harf of nasab. We're going to go over harf of nasab today. Number five, a break in any of the five compounds. A break in any of the five compounds. So now what we're going to do files read only. I gotta close this out. Okay. Went over this. Now what we're going to go over is, where are you? Is something a little bit more of examples, and we'll move to harf nasab. So let's look for mubtada, khabar, blah, etc., etc. So let's start with this one. Who wants to try this?
What do you have to do?
Mubtada, khabar, and muta'alliq bil khabar, subject, predicate, AP. Let's look for 'em. A for Abdullah, I know. Let's see. Okay, Supervisor?
No. I think An-Nabiyu is the subject
An-Nabiyu is the subject. Why?
because it's jar and proper.
It's jar and proper?
Not jar. No, they're proper.
It's rafa. What else?
It's proper.
And it's proper. Those two things match. It's the subject. Good. How about awla? So awla is a partly flexible word. I'll give you that much. And it's called tafdeel. We haven't gone over it. We're probably not going to go over it. So Ola means it is the first. The first. And this word is common. And this word is what? It's partly it's non-flexible, so it has no meaning. And it has no status, technically. Can we tell the status?
No.
No, we cannot.
Yeah.
So what are we trying to find?
For all of
Right now, what are we looking for? Like generally.
generally, we're not looking for we're looking for since now we know the subject.
We're looking
We're
for?
looking for a predicate.
Yep.
That's a quality of the quality or adjective or whatever.
So each word we have to be able to do what? We have to like get basically eliminate it, right? So it's common, right? And we said what? Common followed by proper equals? Proper equals what? Common, a common word followed by a proper word.
It takes the quality of the first one.
It's considered what?
It's considered proper.
No. Common followed by proper means what? Yeah. This right here. Where'd it go? Then you have nominal sentence.
Yes.
But what's common in the three parts? The subject, the predicate, or the AP?
Predicate.
Predicate. So we'll say this is the predicate. Now, what don't we know? We don't know the status, right? We don't know that, but we know what? It's common. Okay, good enough. Common after proper equals nominal sentence. How about this thing? So we found the subject. We don't have to worry about subject. So what and
This is also predicate, or yeah, it's a predicate.
okay, it's a predicate. What type of predicate? Regular predicate or AP predicate?
Okay, if it's the first one is available, that means the first one was the predicate and this is AP.
No. So this one can be this specific word. It's a predicate, right? But can there be more than one predicate in a sentence? Yes. There can be. Can there be more than one AP in a sentence?
Yes.
Okay. So an easy way to identify AP we said was what? Two things. Harf jar or adverb of time and place. Does this have any of those two?
Yes.
It does. Be al-mu'minin. So this will be what?
This is the AP.
Good. How about min anfusihim?
Min is also verb.
So how about anfusihim?
Anfusihim is also
What does min do to it?
min makes it jar.
Good. So what does that mean? So everything that's jar here is going to be considered what?
Jar.
No. Harf jar is making jar.
Right.
So now what do we consider this?
Jar majhul.
Good. Now in this sentence, what is it?
AP.
Good. Very good. And even the translation comes to life with that. Oops. So an-nabiyyu, the prophet, awla, first, bil mu'minina, with the believers, min anfusihim, from themselves. Anfusihim is themselves. Does this sentence make sense? The prophets first with the believers from themselves? What do I need to add?
Is
Where do I add is?
to prophet first.
Good. Why? An-nabiyyu awla. We said what happens once you find the subject and the predicate? Is comes to life. Very good. The prophet is first with the believers from themselves. There's another one. I cut it off. Wa'azwaju. The Prophet is the first of the believers, basically. Let's do another one. Mr. Abdullah, let's do this. Allahu nurus samawati.
Allah, Allahu is
the subject because it's proper and it's rafa.
Good.
Okay. Nuru is, I think it's the predicate because it's rafa and it's common and it matches with the engender number with Allah.
Okay.
And I think Samawati were are the AP.
Yes and no. You're on the right track.
The AP and can be
Well, after the last.
So this is an exceptional example. Everything here is the predicate. Nurus samawati, what type of construction is it? Mudaf mudaf ilayh. How do I know if nur is going to be proper or common?
I just have
No. How do I know if nur is common or proper? Min mudaf mudaf ilayh.
It's followed.
if it's followed by the whatever the mudaf ilayh is.
Whatever the mudaf ilayh. What's the mudaf ilayh here? Proper, right? So what's the nuru?
Proper.
Good. Can something proper be considered a predicate? Except in this situation. And I'll tell you this. What did we say initially? We said that mudaf is going to be common or proper based on what? The mudaf ilayh. But when you are dealing with a jumla ismiya, that doesn't apply. So now when you begin to form what? Sentences, that rule drops. So I want you to write that somewhere in your jumla ismiya. Okay. The mudaf is not considered proper in a nominal sentence. Let me ask you then, is there only one mudaf ilayh here, Abdullah?
No.
Is there any others?
I think the mudaf are no. There's one mudaf. There's
Are there any mudaf ilayhs?
yes.
Which one?
Samawati and Allah.
Good. If this was common, could this be a mudaf ilayh to this? Allahu nuru samawati wa ardun.
Think so.
Has to be number one jar, right?
Oh, yeah.
And for it to be a mudaf ilayh, what does it need? To be a wife, you need a husband, or else you're not a wife. Vice versa. The same way, there's a certain commonality that comes on this idea of wal ard. Al-ard and as-samawat are the same. So this can continue. Remember, Babu Bayti Rasulillahi or whatever. Same way. So let's translate this. Okay, Allahu Nuru. Let's translate just that part. Allah is light, or a light. But now we need to bring in the meaning of Nuru Samawat. What does Nuru Samawat mean?
Light
Is Nuru Samawat means what?
light
Of heavens? There you go. Light of the heavens. Okay? I need to make this into a sentence. How do I mush this into a sentence now?
Allah's light of the heavens and the earth.
Very good. Let's do another one. Let's try this one. Salamun ala Ibrahima. Raise your hand. Don't raise your hand. Asif. Did a horse just die? What was that? Oh man. Let's try Salamun.
Salamun. Salamun is common, right?
Mm-hmm. Subject, predicate, AP. We need to find those, right? This is going to be interesting.
Salamun is not subject, right?
Nope. What is it? What can it be? What's the status of the Salamun? Rafa. Okay. What's the type? Common or proper?
It's common.
Common. Okay, let's say this. We said common and Rafa means what? Subject or predicate?
It's predicate, right?
Okay, so let's say this is predicate. How about ala Ibrahima? What's that? What's ala? Like grammatically, what is ala? It's a harf, right? It's a type of harf. What type of harf is it? Only one type of harf we went over. Very good. Harf jar is considered what?
Consider EP.
Good. So this whole thing is considered the AP. Now here's the thing though. It's not predicate, so it's AP, but it carries the meaning of the subject. Let me translate this. Peace be upon Abraham. In English, what's the subject here? Abraham, right? So the AP in this stage acted as the what? Subject. Another point to add. Sometimes the AP can act in the place and be a subject. Yes, it can act in the place of a subject. I'm not going to test you on all this. I'm just trying to show you how vast the Quran is when it comes to this idea. Because now what are we starting to do? We're starting to put everything together.
So if you have to put the when was the subject of it, how do you make it the subject?
In Arabic or in English? In Arabic, if you want to make, I could say Ibrahimu salamun alayhi. But this is another way of speech. Yeah. Ibrahimu salamun alayhi. Ibrahim salam. Ibrahim. But here's the thing. Even if I were to take the literal meaning of that, right, Ibrahimu means what? Abraham. Salamun, common. Abraham is peace. Ibrahimu salamun. Salamun alayhi. It's a more complicated form of speech. Peace be upon Abraham. Now this is actually supposed to be may peace be upon Abraham. That's the it's a dua actually. It's a form of speech. Under the guise of jar majroor.
What if we say assalamu ala Ibrahim?
Assalamu ala Ibrahim. Yeah, that can work too. Assalamu ala Ibrahim should be fine. May the peace, may all peace.
So salam becomes the subject?
No.
Proper.
No, in that case, it's a good question. I'm gonna write that one down too.
Allah salam.
Yeah.
Is the subject?
Okay. Let's hold on to that one for a minute. Okay, let's so those are some 3 examples I wanted to go over. New lesson. How was the exam, by the way? Was it easier? It was, right?
And less questions, which means if you get one wrong, it's not cost you.
Yeah, it does.
I think I might have gotten the same score.
Okay, well, let's see. Okay. Harf nasab. What percentage is page view?
150.
50, are you sure? That's, huh?
It is on my laptop.
Oh, okay. I think that makes sense. Okay, harf nasab. I think it's in your book somewhere. Hey. There are 6 harfs which will make an ism into nasab if it comes before it. Your book has it on page 92 actually, so I'm not gonna write it. So let's look at the examples.
92.
92, yeah. There's one more I want to add. I want you to go to your book, and where it says inna, I want you to write slash anna as well. Inna and anna. Alif noon. Anna with shadda and fatha and ta. Okay. Let's go over the meanings of each of these. The first one is inna and anna. They're the same thing. Inna and anna, which mean indeed or certainly. Inna Allah ghafurur rahim. Inna Allah shadid al-iqab. Inna Allahu or inna Allaha. In the Quran you see. Inna Allah. That's all. Inna Allaha. Inna Allaha. Number 2. Lakinna. Lakinna is what? It means however. So I'll give you an example here. Al-ma'u wal-labanu ladidun. Water and milk. Al-ma'u is water. Al-labanu is milk. Ladidun is tasty or delicious. Now to add it, al-ma'u wal-labanu ladidun. Water and milk are delicious. Walakin, but. Walakin al-labana. Right? Al-labanu became al-labana. And lakinna did that. Lakinna al-labana afdalu min al-ma'. But milk is greater than water, or better than water. Lakinna. Ka'anna. It is as if. It says is like, but it's more like it is as if. In Urdu, the equivalent is jaise. Wajhuka jamilun. Your face is beautiful. كأن وجهك قمر. Your face is like the moon. I don't talk to anyone like that. Yeah. You do that. Later, I wish. I wish. In the Quran, Allah says, وَيَقُولُ الْكَافِرُ يَا لَيْتَنِي. I wish I was. يَا لَيْتَنِي. It actually expresses an impossible wish. I think this is a bad example. لَيْتَ الْعُمَرُ شَابٌ. Allah says in Surah Al-Naba, يَا لَيْتَنِي كُنْتُ تُرَابًا. وَيَقُولُ الْكَافِرُ. And the kafir will say, يَا لَيْتَنِي. I wish I was kuntu turaba. I wish I was like dirt. If I wish I was dirt. On the Day of Judgment. So what do these words do? They make the ism after it into what? Huh? Is that a hard concept to get?
No.
Okay, can I move on?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, questions?
Did you go over to 6?
That's it? 6? Well, inna is the 6th one. I added it with anna. Inna, anna. So the way I memorize is inna, anna, ka anna, layta, lakinna, la'alla.
So the title says the sisters.
They're called the sisters. You could call them. I just call them the harf of nasab. They make nasab. That's what they do. They have no other value, and they add a little bit of ta'keed, which is emphasis, like inna, right? Inna and anna add some emphasis.
Just another way of saying that.
Sorry?
Sisters is another way of.
Yeah, in Arabic, it's traditionally referred to as inna wa akhawatuha. Inna and her sisters. Because they have, inna is the main word most Arabs know that make nasab, right? Inna Allah. But they don't know about ka'anna and layta and la'alla and the rest of these. So harf nasab just makes it easier because you also remember what they do. What does inna do? I don't know, but harf nasab, harf nasab makes nasab. Harf jar makes jar. Simple.
So there are only 6 harfs.
There's some more, but these are the main ones. There's always an exception, I said, right? There's always an exception. Always is an exception. And that's how, the Arabic language, if you actually study the Arabic language before you study anything else, it really makes you a better Muslim. Not because you understand the Quran, because you understand that Islam allows a lot, right? It's always we talk about what's haram, what's hadith, that's haram, that's forbidden. But the truth is, what's the idea in the language? This is the general rule. There's always going to be an exception, right? Fiqh is exactly that. This is the general rule, but we'll make exceptions. The seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the general rule. Come to me and I'll give you an exception, perhaps. So we can't always subdue everyone to the same exact way of doing things. That is harf nasab.
What's the difference between inna and anna in meaning?
Nothing. Except anna is there may be some subtleties, but there's really no difference. And yeah. Actually, let me give you guys a joke. It's an Arabic joke. Let's see if you can get it. If you know Arabic, you probably won't get this either. So I said what? What does inna and anna do? They make nasab. Okay. And if I tell you someone's name, what's it considered? Partly flexible, so it cannot get what? What? You can't get jar, right? Except if it's a what? How many letter name? 3 letter name. Then it can get what?
It can be linked to the.
It can be fully flexible. Anna Zaydun Karimin. And this sentence actually makes 100% sense. This is supposed to be what? What's it supposed to be? No, it's supposed to be Zayd. His name is Zayd. What is this supposed to be because of Anna, technically? No, Zaydan. Anna Zaydan, right? Kareem. Oops, or Kareem. It's Kareem. Right? How do you solve this? Zayd is supposed to, well, Anna is supposed to make nasab, but here it's jar, it's nasab. Anna is supposed to make nasab, but here it's rafa. Kareem is a proper name technically, but here, what is it? It's jar. It's not supposed to be there. Not only that, it's what? It's heavy. It's supposed to be light. It's a partly flexible word, technically.
That's the joke? Wait, no, I'm serious. That wasn't supposed to be a joke. I was serious.
No, I want you to figure it out. It's a joke. It's an Arabic grammar joke. Can you think of this?
Sounds like something my math teacher.
His first name is Edna.
Nope.
No.
You're close though.
His first name is actually Zayden.
I'm gonna tell you guys.
Oh, Edna is a verb.
Very good. Wow, you figured that out quickly. So what is that? Okay, so then Anna. So Zaydun did Anna, right? What about Kareeman? What does Anna mean? Do you know? No, the verb Anna.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
So he said with a voice.
To cry.
To cry.
Yeah. To make a crying noise. To whine.
Kareem means yeah.
Gent? What?
Oh, he called the guy Kareem.
No.
Cried Kareem. They cried Kareem.
So he's crying because he's jealous.
All right. You want me to tell you guys? Zayd cried like a deer.
What's a deer cry?
Reem is deer. Ka means just like. Reem in Arabic means deer. Zayd cried like a deer.
That's why it's many, right?
Yeah, Kareemin, because Reemin is being made jar by what? Ka. Huh? What's up? You ever hear an ambulance like that? Yeah. Of course, leave it to the people under the age of 17 to make that noise. Alright. Alright. You want another one?
Sure.
Alright, I'll give you another one.
Make it funny.
This one's not funny, but this one will toy with your brain. Man means who. Qala here means, what does qala mean? He said. Whoever says, qala Allah. Whoever said Allah did the action of qala, faqad kafar. Whoever says Allah, okay? I don't want you to focus on the meaning though. Man qala qala Allahu faqad kafar. And I'll show you another example of how intrinsic the Arabic language gets. Does this make sense?
No. The English doesn't.
Can you figure out the Arabic? What's the Arabic say?
The meaning?
Yeah.
Faqad means like
Has indeed disbelieved, right?
shortcoming.
No, this isn't the same thing. So in Arabic, how you say to say? Qala means he said. Yaqulu means he is saying. Qala has another meaning. Qala also means to sleep. Qala and yaqilu means to take qaylula, to go to sleep. So in Arabic, if you say qala, now in Arabic when you want to know a verb, you never say the verb itself. You say the past tense and present tense together. So man qala, whoever said qala Allah, that Allah has slept.
Oh.
Yeah. Has indeed disbelieved. Right? La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. Allah doesn't sleep. Allah doesn't need sleep. But it gets intrinsic. What was the other one?
The spelling is the same?
Spelling is the same. Except this one, instead of being... So, qala, yaqulu, means to say. But qala, yaqilu, means to sleep. The root word for qala is qaf, waw, lam. The root word for qila is qaf, ya, lam. Yeah. So something interesting. I'm tired.
Wait, I
Let's
have
go.
Huh?
are there palindromes in the Arabic language?
There are palindromes in the Arabic language. You want to go? You guys know what a palindrome is?
No.
A palindrome is a word that is spelled the same way if you spell it forward and backward. So one of them. So for example, in English you have race car. Spell it backwards for me. Look at the last R. Oops. Hold on. R A C E C A R. The word civic. C I V I C.
Or Hannah.
Or what?
Hannah.
Like the name? H-A-N-N-A-H. In the Arabic language, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ. So the letters from the front are Ra. You leave the waw. The waw we don't ever count it in anything. Ra, ba, kaf, fa, kaf, ba, ra. Backwards. Ra, ba, kaf, fa, kaf, ba, ra. Pretty neat. So someone actually used to say this, that رَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ is that everything ends and starts with Allah's greatness. It's always the takbir of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's that.
So, how do you say, indeed, Zayd is generous?
Inna Zaydan Kareemun.
Instead of Anna?
Yeah. Or Anna Zaydan Kareemun.
Or for both of them, it's Zaydan.
Yeah. Inna Zaydan Kareemun. Yep. Let's take what's up? Who had a question?
No, I'm saying not Kareemin, just Kareemun. That's the only difference.
Yeah. So if I were to say this right and not with this meaning, it would be Anna Zaydan Kareemu. Zayd is generous, actually, you said? So the generous would be Kareemun. If his name was Kareem, then it would be light. Okay? So far we have what? Today, tomorrow, and then Thursday is our final. Would you guys recommend this class to someone else if they're looking for an introduction to Quranic Arabic? Yeah. Did you guys enjoy your time here so far?
Depends on the final.
Depends on the final. The first thing I said when I walked into this class is I could care less about your grades. All I want to know is that people are trying. That's all. If you're trying, if you're doing your homework, you'll be fine. That's what I've been saying. That is that. Khair, it's almost time for Maghrib. Go ahead, get ready.
Is there a part 2 for this?
There is. It's called Endless Ocean. But if I'd be willing to teach it to you guys online if 10 of you can commit to it. That's the only thing.
Is it going to be like a weekend thing or?
It would be once a week, probably on the weekend. Yeah.
For how long?
For probably 12 sessions or 13 sessions.
No, like how long would the one session?
Oh, each session would be 2.5 to 3 hours, like this.
Can it be weekends?
Weekends online, yeah.
And it'll be like live.
Live.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just can't do this every day.
So if you guys want to do it, I'm more than happy to do it. It would be after Ramadan. That's obviously. But again, I need everyone to if someone wants to take charge of that and figure it out, we can do it. I wouldn't mind.
And if we don't have any 10 people now, maybe you take next class and combine us with them.
Oh, I'm not gonna. This is the last time I'm teaching this class. For now. So.
So this is the prerequisite, right?
Mhm.
So who all is interested? Please show up, please.
I can do that.
What was the schedule actually?
Schedule. To be honest, I can. You guys can decide that. I think Friday or Saturday would work, right? Either in the morning or evening, whatever, or even during the week in the evening. But it would be like we can even divide it up in a way of doing like an hour and a half one day and an hour and a half the other day, or 2.5 hours or 3 hours straight. That's also what it depends on.
I think I counted mine, so the fact that Kennedy was there, number 10.
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Well, it depends on when it starts, because he can come, but he's doing Hajj, so.
When's your Hajj date? Yeah, there's more than enough time. Then everything's recorded, right? So you can catch up always. How long is your Hajj gonna be?
30 days.
20 days? Say, so you'd miss 2 or 3 sessions. That's fine.
See you there, brother. Yeah. Inshallah.
Yeah. And obviously, the way I'm doing this right now is how it would be.
So what we're gonna learn, like the same grammar or
It would be continued. It wouldn't be grammar per se, and I'll show you.
Can you use WizIQ or something like that?
I've been using Google Hangout, but I may switch it, so it depends. Class, where to go? So my second class is called Endless Ocean. Oh, there I actually do this as well. How to approach your Quranic studies. But this comes to be useful afterwards, after the class. So here, I'll show you exactly what I go over. It's an intro to Quranic morphology. That's what it is. So, fa'ala, right? You're gonna have to memorize tables, yeah. So it's less. So this class, by the way, is the condensed version. This is a very condensed version. This class, I usually teach it in 14 sessions, 13 to 14 sessions. I did it in 10. So this class, this is what it focuses on. It's really, there's only 9 words you focus on. Here, what do we focus on? Ism. We focused on status. We focused on rafa, gender, on a bunch of concepts, right? But now this is going to be applying that concept and seeing how it fits in. So for example, you have the word fa'ala, which means he did. So in English, you have your pronouns, right? He did, she did, you did. In Urdu, usne kiya, maine kiya, right? All that stuff. Yeah, don't worry, man. Relax. 1 second. Right? فَعَلَ يَفْعَلُ فُعِلَ يَفْعَلُ فَاعِلٌ مَفْعُولٌ إِفْعَلْ لَا تَفْعَلْ. The whole Quran is organized like this. The whole Quran, everything about it. Everything is organized like that. So much so that if you can get one, and I pulled it up, and I'll pull it up right now, real quick, and we can go off. Tinek. Yeah, right here. If you can get one word, you can form all of these, right? Fataha, which means both of them. Fatahu, they. This takes forever, but by knowing fi'l, by knowing the concept of the verb, you can form about 96 verbs right here. So there's 14 past tense, present tense, past perfect, present perfect, doer, detail, commanding, negating, subject, 105 words minimum, plus superlatives, plus 6. If you know what, for example, if you know qala, qaf, waw, lam. Qala, he said. Yaqulu, he is saying. Miqalun, what he's saying. Qawl, what is being said. Qailun, the sayer. Maqulun, that which is being said. You know, so it expands out. I mean, it seems a little intimidating, but it's not. Actually, for me, I love teaching this. This is like my baby. This course itself is my favorite. Because this one I'm teaching you is developed off of something else. This is something I've worked on specifically solely. I've taught this, I think, I taught it once officially, and I've taught it unofficially twice. I included it in part of this course, but that course is, I love it. And in there, I don't do it, you know all the vocab stuff I'm doing right now with you? I don't do any vocab because of the fact that you keep learning vocab as you go. You keep learning it as you go. So that's what this course is, and then at the same time, this is the stuff we go over. Where'd it go? Here. Yeah, it comes down to that stuff right there. And actually, this course, it morphs into a second course, which I have not taught yet.
So that would be the third one?
That will be the third course, yeah. And actually, even this course, I want to make a part 2 out of this too. But that's for really, really serious students, which gets later. And again, if you haven't mastered the material, that's fine. That's not what it's about. These courses are supposed to give you an idea of what is going on. And it's not that, oh, you know, you're becoming a sheikha for taking the course or a sheikha. It's giving you a personal introduction to the Arabic language. I told you guys, my first introduction to the Arabic language was my Bayna course. Had no idea what I learned afterwards, felt very not confident. And now after teaching it 6-7 times, I feel like now I'm starting to get a grasp on it. You know, so it's about that. That's what it comes down to. But khair, let's go for salah and see what happens later.